Okay. Alright, so this is, I had pre-prepared this video. So this is the actual sapphire ring I've put down in the background. I'm going to start again and show you how we arrived at this. This is a live interactive rendering, by the way. This is movable, and it takes a couple of seconds to regenerate. So I'm just gonna shut this whole lot down and show you from the word go how this whole thing works. Alright. Okay, so let's quit that. Alright, so on my desktop I've got the sapphire ring. I've just renamed it test model, and I have keyShot, which I installed. This is a 64-bit version running on my PC just simply because I have a 64-bit operating system. Alright, so this is standalone, does not require CAD. However, it does have a plugin for Rhino which will allow me to preset materials and so on before I send a file out. However, it makes no difference. Let's open it quickly. Alright, let's have a quick look. There's nothing quick about Rhino, so try stay out of it if you can help. Oh, for crying out loud. Faster, computer, faster. One of the world's fastest commercially available computers, and I'm whinging. Alright, so essentially, that's the model. Okay, the one that we've been working with. It has been oriented to the position we want to render it in. You can do this inside bung speed though. Close that, I'm not going to save it. Alright, so not bung speed anymore, sorry, it's keyShot, whatever they call it nowadays. Alright, so I've just downloaded a trial version, which is why you've got this little demo thing happening in there. Alright, so let's open it there. What I'm going to do, let's move that out the way. I'm just going to grab the 3DM file, which you would get an email from me or from our work server. Pop it in there, click OK. Alright, so what comes in is not pretty in the least. I'm just going to pan it over and rotate it around, and I hold the Alt key, right mouse to zoom it in, and just pan it up and move it over. Alright, so this has just opened the file. Now, step by step, you just follow along the bottom, and you can finish. So the import part is done. Let's go to the materials browser. I'm going to just move this here. I'm going to go to I'm going to go to gemstones, and we've got sapphire. So that's whatever you move it over that's what it will be applied to. So I'm going to apply sapphire to that. Never mind that it looks terrible now, don't stress about that. Okay, so diamond, I'm going to move onto there. Now I'm going to just close this for now. I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy that material, I'm going to paste it onto there. Paste it onto there, and paste it onto there. Now I'm not entirely sure, and you'll have to just bear with me because I haven't used the software in ages. I'm pretty sure that if I assign this to a group layer in Rhino, that you'll be able to only paste onto the one layer, and it should assign to all the stones, because I could imagine this in a parve scenario where you got 300 diamonds or something could become a major pain in the arse. Alright, so let me just rotate this around. Okay, so we can see our metals. Alright, so I'm going to go back to the material browser. Precious metals, gold. I'm not particularly impressed with their gold. The colors are a little bit off, but anyway, let's make that platinum. Let's make that outer basket platinum and the inner basket platinum. Alright, so what you're looking at now is a live interactive rotatable render. So you move it, as soon as you stop moving it, the render starts solidifying, for want of a better word. The settings for this live interactive render are reasonably low to allow you to do stuff like this quite quickly. Obviously, once you hit the actual render button, things are going to start moving along a bit faster. Alright, so once you've assigned all your materials, the next thing is what environment you want to be using. You know what an HDR is, so no need to explain what all this is. Let's say we put this in a factory. Okay, so basically what would the ring look like on a factory floor? There may be some reason you'd want this, I'm not entirely sure. I find I've been using the Car Studio one. The one they have for jewelry makes the stones look a bit black. Let's assign that one. You see the stones, I suppose not too bad. The stones look dark though. I'm not particularly impressed with it. Alright, so I'm going to put that car one back on. It was nice and bright. I don't know, let's put that one on, maybe it looks great when it's rendered. Alright, so at this point in time you've assigned your materials, you've assigned your your HDR, which is going to control your lighting in the scene, and you can then go on to assign a backplate, which is basically the ground plane that's underneath it. I'm not going to do this because I don't have any nice ones here. Essentially, you could get some artwork done, Holloway diamonds, blah blah blah, whatever it is, maybe on a cloth material photo, whatever it is, and just assign this to the ground plane. I'm going to show you how it works, and come on. All right. Sorry, I got the kids screaming around in there. Let me zoom this back and roll it around. As you can tell, the shadow still applies over the picture. Move on to the road there and zoom it smaller. I don't know, Holloway diamonds on the road with you. Whatever your picture is going to be for that. Okay, so in the beginning of the video I had left it at about this point. Alright, so I'm going to close all this up. Now you get to the point where you actually want to render. At this point you haven't rendered anything yet. You've just got a quick preview way of having a look at how this is going to work for you. And so far this is a no-brainer. I mean, you could be born with a single-digit IQ and still use this stuff. So render. In your rendering, this is where the time-based stuff starts happening. So you can output what your format is going to be, what your resolution is going to be. I don't know what all this stuff is. I'm going to pick something low just for speed. Your DPI, and you've got quality fast. Let's have a look at quality fast. Let's hit a render. Okay, so obviously we've got the keyShot thing over there. Over the stuff, you can see your lighting and your shadows a little bit better. Let's go to normal. Okay, taking a little bit longer. It's probably generating a few more light bounces inside there. So far I'm not particularly impressed with, but I think in this case it was a question of with our render model I used a sapphire with a deeper belly to give the stone more oomph. In this case it's the actual stone we worked with, which was a little shadow. So let's have a look at good. Let's hit render. Okay. Obviously, as you climb up the ladder, good, better, best, you're going to start paying for it in terms of render times. Things are going to start taking a bit longer. But still, this on its good is taking about as long as what probably Vero would take, maybe around about the same speed as Vero. And Vero is what I used for our production render for the promo articles. Alright, so I'm going to stop rendering on that. So let's have a look at what happens if I go to custom. So in custom what happens is you can set how many light bounces you want, how many ray bounces you want, how much anti-aliasing, shadow quality, depth of field, whatever it is, and hit render. And of course the more you throw at it, the longer it's going to take to render. Still, I think it's going to be a lot faster solution than trying to use Maxwell, and I think a lot simpler to use. I don't think you're going to have virtually any training with whoever you get to use it. Anyway, I'm not going to waste too much more time on this. I'm going to just close it down. As you can tell, even just the fast interactive render is not bad. And you can add into a scene, so you could pop this down and then bring another ring in and put it down next to it and render the two with each other. This is quite a powerful tool. Alright, I think this is going to be the better solution for us. I'm going to log off here. 10-minute YouTube limit. Cheers.